to the FRL GT Sundays League. We have race 2 at Brands Hatch, currently in practice, and I think we're going to have a good one tonight. Again, I'm joined this evening by Timmyblunder, the experienced racer. How are you, Timmy?
Fantastic, apart from a disaster of a race earlier, but we won't go into that just now.
No, we'll wait till later, because I had the opposite, so we have to share with everybody, don't we?
Indeed.
Good, okay, so while we're in practice, we are half an hour in, and so me and Timmy, as you guys will know, are going to look after the commentary on this for the whole season, which is exciting, so we can get to know everybody. Part of the way that we're going to do that is we're going to do a driver focus section each week. We'll pick a driver if they want to, and we'll have a chat with them and get to know them a bit more and go from there. So, Timmy, who are we chatting with tonight?
I believe we have James Williams with us.
I think we do, yeah. James, you there? Very well.
Yeah,
we're very
good,
well.
Thank you.
Very well. Okay, so thanks for coming out of the car. I know it's a bit busy down in the pit lane this evening, a bit noisy down there, so don't crash. But yeah, it's good to have you with us. What are your thoughts on brands? Obviously, we're here tonight. Well, speaking of drive, let's go on board and let's have a look at what's going on with you. Well, that'll be up to Timmy. Timmy's the master driver out of us two.
You don't want to put me under pressure, surely.
No, well, no, maybe
I may
not.
need to try and talk for a lap later on, maybe.
Yeah, okay, fine. Alright, we'll come
I
off
wouldn't want to
that.
give all the secrets away to James, would I? That would be unfair, no?
That's very true, because I'm sure we'll be racing at some point on the Taco Tuesdays down here again. Yeah, okay. So, James, how long have you been sim racing? Nice. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it can be quite. I think a lot of people. It's again, we won't say too much. I don't want to give everybody give everything away straight away, but it's a very important part. So, 18 months in sim racing, and has it always been on the front foot, or has it been behind the scenes? How have you built FRL? Yep. Yep. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, everybody's got to play by the rules. Otherwise, you're going to do stuff in the background because you have the keys. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. Yeah. 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 Good. Good. Timmy, anything?
No, I think that's an interesting story. How do you set up the leagues every year? Do you who determines tracks and the layouts of the championship, the formats like this is a double headers and whatever? How do you come to those sort of decisions? Just random?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Do you guys do anything in terms of like reverse grids or anything else to kind of spice it up a bit?
Well, today's going to be an element of that. Good.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, I think let's let you get back to it. We're taking up a lot of your practice time here, so many thanks for joining us today, and wish you good luck in the race, mate.
Yeah, good luck.
You obviously. Whoever's first, that's who I'm going to pick now. I think Lenny's going to have a point to prove tonight from what happened last week. So I think well, it'll be interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's down to who makes the least errors, really. This being such a narrow circuit, it's very difficult to overtake. Good qualifying is going to be important.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Not too many small mistakes. One little half a tyre on the grass, and you can be in trouble. So yeah, I think it's whoever's going to be cleanest is going to win this one.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, quite.
Yes,
Okay, mate. All right. Well, wish you the best. Well done.
All the best.
See ya. Thank you. Oh, that was nice, Timmy, wasn't it? Eh?
Yeah, indeed. Oh, just we see a bit of crash into Paddock Hill Bend there.
Oh dear. Okay. Well,
Good
so
job at free practice.
Indeed. So we're at Brands, just having a quick look at those times. Look at the sector times. Caddy is okay. He's top of the pile with 27.1. Oh, okay. So they're all fairly close on there. Shall we have a look in case nobody's been to Brands before? Shall we have a look at the track layout, or do you want to look at that later on?
I can do that now. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, talk us through it, Mr. Young.
Okay, so I'll do my best and I'll tell you how I sort of drive this circuit. So,
Yeah.
cross the start-finish line, and obviously you're heading into Paddock Hill Bend. If memory serves, for me it's like pick up the second board on the left-hand side as your braking marker.
Yeah.
Sweep through there, not too early on the power, because the first half of that corner the car will want to wash away. As she gets into the dip and she loads up, you can then give her the beans, as it were. You go up to Druids, which is the hairpin at the top there. For me, I take a kind of wide line and a late clipping point through there.
Yeah.
Down the hill to Surtees, down into second, pick up the curb. Just don't take too much of that curb because it will bounce if you get your tyres over it. Then go down your straight, Cooper Straight.
Cooper Straight, yeah.
From what I hear, mate, the reason they call it Cooper Straight is because you're only any good at driving in a straight line. Is that right?
Well, I think it's probably because I am straight. That might have something to do. Yeah, I am good in a straight line, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got to be good at something, ain't you?
Indeed. Thanks. Anyway, get over it, go on.
Yeah, so anyway, end the Cooper Straight, you're taking the left-hander kind of up the hill to which is Stirling. Don't want to quite pick up the right-hand curb for me anyway. I'll stay slightly tight, maybe a car width tight in there. Not too early on the power because you will try and get away from you. And then, strangely, up Pilgrim's Drop. Don't ask me why it's called a drop when you're going uphill, unless the circuit used to be run in reverse. I don't know. Obviously, all the way down the longest straight through the right-hander on Hawthorns. Now, it's very tempting to turn in too early into Hawthorns. So you want quite a late turn in there, and then on the power as early as possible, running to the outside, and then you're running to Westfields, which again you don't want to be turning into there too early. You want to take plenty of curb on the inside, but if you turn in too early, then the car will push away wide as it drops away.
Yeah.
Then down through Dingle Dow, which isn't quite like it used to be. For me, Sheen Curve is probably the right-hand Sheen Curve is probably one of the most difficult corners on the circuit.
Yeah.
It's uphill, blind apex. Again, it drops away from you to come up, so it can wash. You want to absolutely muller the curve on the inside there and carry as much speed through as possible, all the way to the left-hand side of the circuit, and then pull it right as soon as possible to get a straight line braking into the left-hander Stirlings, and then down the last straight. Up to Clearways, again the right-hander Clearways onto the start-finish straight. There's another one that's up over a crest and kind of drops away after the apex. So you want to hit that apex, because if you don't hit that apex, the car will wash wide. And you've got to be patient on the throttle there as well. So not too early on the throttle. You want to effectively be over the crest of the curve before you're thinking about planting too much throttle. And away you go over the start-finish line.
And we'll give credits to Lock and Load there, because we're sitting in his car whilst we're talking about the lap. So, thanks for that, Timmy. Thanks for that. It'll be an interesting one today. How do we think? Obviously, last week we just kind of jumped in, really, and watched the first race. Obviously, we didn't do the second one. We know the results. How do you think today's going to pan out? Is it going to be a Bentley domination again, or do you think other cars are going to jump in the mix?
Well, in terms of like the speed of this circuit, again, it's quite a mid-speed flowing circuit, which would suit the Bentley. Not so sure about weight transfer in the Bentley over some of the corners that drop away from you. So the weight will be a bit of a disadvantage for the Bentley in those corners. To be quite honest, I think it's a very open circuit. You know, I think most cars will go reasonably well around this circuit. I think the most important thing in this circuit is driver confidence. You know, you don't want to overdrive the car, but you've got to have confidence going through some of the blind corners and to commit to your line. And it's all about minimising mistakes.
Yeah,
like I said earlier. Sorry, Karen.
I was going to say I totally agree with you, and I think you know, this sort of track with the confidence. When I've driven on this track, I think once you get a few laps in, so I think the practice is very important today, because once you do find a groove, I think it's quite hard to get out of the groove. And this track reminds me of Donington quite a lot in terms of the way it flows, and I love that track. So I don't think that you don't spend a lot of the lap thinking really on this one. I don't have time to think really. No, that's what I mean. It's just relentless. It's corner after corner, all the changes in elevation. You know, balancing the car. So I think everybody is going to earn the corn tonight, as it were.
Yeah, like I say, it's about keeping your concentration and minimising your errors. Say this track will punish you for even the smallest of errors. Put your tire on the grass and you're off the circuit.
Yeah, I think a lot of time can be made up today. It's exactly like that. Could be made up on that pit lane entry today, because if you're really tentative in there, because it's quite a weird shape, isn't it? Really, it's not like a straight run in. You're on the brakes, you're turning at the same time. I do think if people might overshoot that, because you've got to get on the anchors pretty quickly in there, haven't you?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's very common to see people overshoot that and put the car into the wall on that pit entry. And obviously you don't want to be burning time in the pits for repairs if you can help it.
No.
Better to be a little bit more cautious into that pit lane and live to fight another day, as it were.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just have a little watch of them go around. Right, so let's have a little look at what the times are doing at the moment. So Keddy's out. Should we jump on board with Keddy?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what we can do in the Ferrari. Funnily enough, the beautiful Ferrari. Right.
Yeah, it's the same livery as we use, except different colours. A bit more bold.
Yeah, but we like to be understated though. We don't want people seeing us, really, do we? So we can ninja them in a corner or something.
That's it, yeah, fly under the radar. So just coming over the crest there at Surtees, so you can make and lose a lot of time there. Just gone a bit deep into Stirling's there.
Yeah. I think it's literally just popped out the pit zone, really, I think.
A little bit early on the throttle there.
Yeah, a bit pushy.
Yeah, see the front end slide away there, understeering.
He's waiting a long time there, eh?
Okay, yeah, just a little bit more patient on the throttle there, I think. He's in front of him, isn't he? I don't know if he's on an outlap or...
Down the most famous straight in the world.
You're not going to forget that.
I am, no, all night. Apologies everybody, for the next 2 hours we're going to hear a lot about Cooper's Straight, contrary to popular belief. I've got kids, it's fine with me.
You'll be telling everybody that it was named after you, won't you?
Well, it was named after my great granddad's dog.
I'm sure it was.
I wish it was. If you could on that. Right, let's see what this... Ooh. It's interesting when you watch other drivers as well, because for me, in that position there, I would be like absolutely smashing through that corner, but then that's probably why I'd hit the wall every time coming out of it, but you know. Right, let's see what he posts. Okay, so 20, so that's a... He's just warming his tyres up. Ooh.
Yeah, not such a good lap, but it's better free practice.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe Phil fooling here. I mean, wise decision. A lot of people will be out there at the moment, I would think, with doing tanks of fuel.
Yeah.
Maybe tweaks to the suspension, cambers, etc. to maybe not ease tyre wear, because obviously we're sprint racing, so not so important. You can basically run with a qualifying setup for these two races.
Yeah, let's see what these boys can do today. So we've got, from last week, I mean, I know James was saying Keddy's a pretty quick driver, we can see that he is. We've got Lock and Load, Lely, Rashid, Clark.
So obviously last weekend we had Lock and Load was the winner of the first race, obviously double headers. Lely came in second. I think it was Tugberg who came in third.
If
I recall. we were saying that how unlucky DJ Clark was in terms of the drive-through. Or was it stop and go he had? I forget now.
He got a stop and go, didn't he? For we thought it might have been track limits, but as you mentioned on the stream, he was just coming out of the pit, so it must have been for speeding in the pit.
I wasn't sure if he was coming out of the pits. I've picked him up just as he was coming through the first corner, so I didn't actually make out whether he was pitting or not, or come out of the pits or not.
Yeah.
But either way, he went on in the second race to take the win there, DJ Clark, followed by Lock and Load and Nelly again. So, DJ Clark making up for his problems in the first race with a good win in the second.
Yeah.
And both Lock and Load and Nelly, great performances again. And Rashid, who kind of seemed to have some, I don't know, he had a few issues in the first race, I guess, managed to get himself into fourth in the second race of the evening, so I believe.
Yeah, his pace I thought last week was pretty good. Was good. It was a little yo-yo-y, but I mean he was always in the action, wasn't he? Last week, and with what was he in? He was Bentley last week. No, he was in. Well, I thought he was in the Porsche last week. To be honest,
Tugberg was in the Porsche, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at who we've actually got racing tonight in terms of the teams. So this is the first time we've had a look at the teams as well, guys, so again we're all going to get to know these more, or if there's any substitutions obviously we can announce that at the top of the show. So we've got Berlin's Most Wanted in the BMW, that's Crazies and Dell. They're both racing tonight. Have you got access to this information, Timmy? Yep. Or Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Just because I was going to go through it. And then we've got Twazik Motorsport. I like that name. It's got a ring to it, I think. So we've got Yvolton and Tugberg in there. And then Team Becco in the Merc, Chica and DJ Clark. Chica had a really unlucky race last week because he did start quite high up. And I don't know if there was contact or what happened to him. I think there was contact, and he ended up at the back of the grid for most of the rest of the race, unfortunately. So I'd be keen to see how he can better that this week. And obviously Not Fast, just Interstellar, a very modest name there for Mr. Williams and Hutch. They're allowed to be. And I'll do this one, which is Audi Sport CR. They're in the Audi, and that's Darren Mark and Taskowski. And I don't think Taskowski is in today. So this is where Will Friedman is jumping into his seat for this race. How about the rest?
No, you carry on, Cooch. You're doing such a good job of that.
Thanks very much. Well, Triple X Motorsport, they're obviously my favourite team. Well, we'll stop there, shall we? There might be kids watching, I don't know, I doubt it. So Gamer Dad, he probably came up with that name, and King of the Hills. Okay, but Gamer Dad isn't racing tonight, so Scotty Turbo is. And I think Scotty and King of the Hills like the post on the Facebook thread, so thank you very much. Let's hope you two have a good race in the Nissan. She might be a bit of a handful around here. What do you think? I think she will be a handful around here.
Yeah, it's not what I would class as a GTR circuit, really, no.
No.
We'll see. I could be proven wrong.
Never know. And then we have the Iron Brew Racing Team, which I fought really hard not to do the accent there, with Keddy and Tarek, my man, Tarek Tornado. I just love that name. Gulf Claren in the McLaren, so Joseph T. Rowe, and BRG Marpat, who isn't racing, so Ryan H is standing in for him, I believe. So good luck to you guys. Glorious Wings, that is a good name for the Bentley. Well, I think I'm giving you guys an extra point in my book just for that name. Glorious Wings. So we've got Lely 9 and we've got Mr. Error. Good luck to you guys. Run DJC Racing, initials of my son, that is, JR Sim Racing and Rashid. So JR Sim Racing did a pretty good video, actually, put one up from the last race as well, which was quite cool. So good commentary on there, so good luck to you guys. And the commentary team of me and Timmy, good luck to us as well, because we'll probably need it. I've run out of things to say. Goodbye, everyone. But yes, that's what we got tonight. So we've got a good full grid around a tiny little track with no room to pass, lots of corners, very quick, dodgy braking zones, hills. It should be eventful.
Yeah. So, do we know the championship order in terms of drivers? Yeah, we do, don't we?
Of course we do. That? Yeah, let's go through that. Let's make sure everyone knows where we're at.
Do you want me to take that one? I'll take
that.
Yeah,
you go that one. Yeah.
So, at this moment in time, I believe it's lock and load at the top there. 64 points. Is that the information you've got?
Indeed.
Yeah, you agree? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So lock and load at the top there. Lely 9 following in second place, and then Rashid, who was very consistent last time out, I think. Really, during the race for sure. Is there on 33 points. Then DJ Clark, who obviously we spoke about earlier, had a bit of a disaster in the end of the first race, but pulled it back in the second race, is on 32 points. Tug Burke in the Porsche, sitting there 1 point behind with 31 points. Crazy's at 29. Then Gamer Dad, as you say, he's not here, so obviously would lose ground. He's sitting there on 26 points at the moment. Mr. Williams,
can I just interrupt you for a moment there? Sorry about that. Because I wanted to. We should probably mention Crazy's. I know we said last week he's a 4-time champ. He's now a 5-time champ because he won. He won the other championship the other night. No, he didn't. Did he or didn't he? I think it might have actually gone to the last race. The chap who was commentating, I think he said he thought he'd won it. And then I'm remembering quickly in my stupid head that I think the points, it's very, very close and they've gone to the last race. So probably soon to be 5-time champ. Anyway.
Oh, you're jinxing it now, aren't you?
He'll be alright. He'll be alright.
I know exactly what it's like. Every time you say something like that to me, I throw it off instantaneously.
What, like today when you were pole position at Spa and you were spanking it with 218s, and I said, "Good luck, Timmy," and then you threw it off at a Rouge straight away.
It wasn't straight away. I got at least a lap out of it. I know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was under pressure with the second lap with the full speed cars. Yeah.
So yeah, what I failed to do there was raise the ride height for the race fuel. So I left it in quali and hadn't raised the ride height, and the car kept bottoming out in a Rouge and. She decided she didn't want to play ball anymore, so,
Well, maybe you should just do a little more CV during the week. And then you wouldn't need to raise the ride height, would you?
Yeah, very true. Well, you still need to raise the ride height, but, I might actually remember to do it or know to do it. Maybe run a race distance or something, I don't know. But
I don't know.
At the end of the day, let's just not... I'll cut to the chase. I came last.
Well, yeah, but... Well done. It's not the winning that counts.
218, so happy days.
Exactly.
Really great times, but I was last.
Yeah.
So that's the last we need to talk about. What about yourself? How did your race go?
Well, I wasn't really going to mention it, to be fair, but seeing as you've asked, I had a brilliant race and came second, which was great. And I would have won, but I didn't want to. The chap in first, I thought.
He deserved it, yeah. He deserved it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So basically, what you're telling everybody is that you basically missed a place.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, it was bad driving. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, back to the stuff. Sorry, we're chatting crap, aren't we? But, yeah,
that's what we're best at, no?
Yes.
Anyway, so next on the list, where are we talking? Sitting 8th place, I believe, was James Williams, as we were talking to earlier, on 24 points. Going well. Next was Hutch, who we had a really entertaining watch of at the end of the race 1. Who, I forget, who was he chasing down at the time?
Hutch? No.
What, in Tornado? Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, right at the end. Yeah, because Tarek did smart on the pit stops, didn't he? And got up 4 places or whatever it was, didn't he?
That was some interesting racing to watch at the end there. It was right down to like 0.2 of a second behind him for quite a while there. I really thought he was going to get the job done, but unfortunately not. But yeah, sitting there on 17 points is Hutch. And then Joseph, our mate Joseph in the McLaren, sitting there on 17 points. Chika sitting there 12. Tarek, also on 12. Mr. Error, that you seem to find funny, I don't know why, in the last race, 9.9 points. Darren Mark on 4, and then Dal on 2. Yvoltin on 2. Everybody else there on nothing. So
I'd just like to clarify in my defence, and Mr. Error, when you watch this back, and all your friends and family and supporters, I didn't find anything funny. What I did was I mentioned it could be a play on words, and I hoped it wasn't going to be Mr. Error, if you remember correctly, Mr. Blunder. There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes, that's where we're sitting in the championship. So good luck to everybody, and let's see what happens in this race. So we've got qualifying soon. We've got just over a minute left of free practice, and we'll find out what sort of times these guys are going to post qualifying.
Yeah.
There's been some good times so far. So both Lock and Load and Keddy are in the 1 minute 23s, which are good times around this circuit. I'd be definitely happy with 123s. You know, for me, anything kind of mid 24s is a fast lap time around here. You know, you're going well at mid 24s. So 23s are great times. So let's see if they can replicate these sort of times in qualifying.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. I think they're all as you can see, they've just gone off a little bit. They're all probably just pushing a little bit now, just to get those last little. Well, see if they can sneak a little bit more on the corners before quali. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. That's for sure. Just having a look here, and there's 5 million people watching this at the moment. So
5 million.
5 million
Wow.
minus 5 million. So thank you, everyone. It'll be fine.
I'll tell you what, I'll watch it back for you later on. How about that?
Thanks, mate. I need somebody
there for you.
I need somebody to help me, don't I? Right. Okay. So let's. Right then, here we go. So qualifying for the Brands Hatch GT3 Sunday first race. We did mention last week, just whilst everybody gets out there, mentioned last week that it's a 14 race season. Race number 2, and everyone's. What do you reckon, Timmy? Is it good to get out early? I mean, the track's 23, 19s and 23s, so you think people will be looking for a sighter, or finding space is probably going to be a bit difficult on here, do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing around this. It's deceptively. It's a longer circuit than you think because of the time. You know, you're doing 123s, but it's a very fast circuit.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding space is going to be an issue, and like I say, it's extremely important to get your best qualifying in, because if you don't post a good time here, it's difficult to overtake. You know, basically you're waiting for an error from somebody else to be able to make a move 99 times out of 100. So yeah, for me, yeah, I'd go back to your question. I'd get in an early sighter, kind of try and settle the nerves a little bit, as it were. Yeah, and then maybe kind of look to sit it out and pinch it at the end. That's my personal. I'd prefer to sit there and see what's going on and how things develop once I put a sighter in.
Yeah, I would do the same thing, because you know the track's also going to be evolving throughout this session, so it's going to be getting more grippy. You would hope, if you're letting everybody else par around there. I thought we'd just jump on board with Tugberg. So he's the first one on a flyer, so we can have a look and see how he gets on. Talk us through, Timmy. Talk us through. What are you seeing here?
So just through Grey Mill Bend onto Cooper Straight there. Like I say, I'll try and don't go too close to this right-hand curb. Depends on the car, to be fair, but personally I find it drags you away, especially in the mid-engine stuff. Absolutely nailed it down here. Hawthorns Hill, into Hawthorns. Say, don't turn in too early. See that tiny bit early turning? This is exactly what happens there. You get pushed wide by turning in too early. Oh,
yeah. Oh.
Not what you need on your first out lap or your first quali lap.
Ouch. Okay, unlucky there, Tugberg. Unlucky. Yeah, you didn't want that really, did you? So he's going to drop one in now. So he's coming back out.
So nobody yet posting a time.
No. Let's have a look at Chico. Let's have a look at Chico. We didn't manage to follow Chico a lot last week.
Whereabouts on the circuit is he at the moment?
He's on the black stuff.
It's on the. That's a start.
It is. It's
a start.
Well, Tugberg wasn't a moment ago, was he? So.
That's very true.
Right, he's just popped one over.
Gill Bend.
Yeah.
So
he's done a 25.6.
Yeah. So there'll be significantly faster times than that you would expect.
Yeah, you would. But again, he's probably just popping a sighter in. Mr. Williams, Okay, he's 1.7 lock and load. Oh dear, Chica's got a little bit happy there. So lock and load's done a 24.2, which is not bad. And Lenny, his best mate, is 1.5 tenths behind him.
That's a good sighter lap. You know, that's a 1:24.2.
Yeah.
That's a good lap. Just to, you're putting people under pressure with that time, you know. So you've got a half decent time in there, 1:24.2. Not necessarily setting the world on fire, but it means everybody else has now got to get on it.
Yes. Well, let's see.
Throw in the gauntlet, as it were.
Yeah. And so Keddy's going to temp down. That's pretty close, those top three at the moment for their first cycle laps.
10 and a half between the three of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Chico, Mr. Aaron Harrison.
It's looking a bit chaotic coming down towards Clearways for the start. You thought people would try to spread themselves out there. I'm trying to see who we've got there. So I think Tarek Tornado is one of them. Yeah, the one in the middle of the sandwich, as it were.
Where is old Tarek? Let's have a look at him.
Just Paddock Hill Bend. So,
there he is.
Yeah, just pushing him slightly. So is it the number 5 in front of him?
Who's that Bentley there? Because that Bentley's going to... I mean, he's either going to mess up his own lap.
Actually, it might be Lely, actually.
No, Lely's in the green Bentley.
Yeah, that is Lely. It is a green Bentley. You colourblind, or what?
Sorry, I was looking at something else at the time. I was looking
green red?
No, Triple X Motorsports webpage is like amazing. Yeah, obviously.
Concentrate. Come on, get your eyes back where they belong. Jeez.
All right. Okay. I'm going to watch Tarek Tornado for this lap because I wanted him to do well in the last race. Okay, Keddy's gone a 10th up though. Oh, he's pulled it, so like close to the 20th. That's a good time.
23.6, yeah, that is an exceedingly good time.
Yeah.
Take a bow, lock and load.
Yeah. Well, it will be very interesting at the end of tonight if things shape out, and touch wood, who knows whether they will or won't. I'm not trying to curse anybody, but if things pan out similarly in terms of your sort of top 5 or 6 split from last week, you've got a championship battle developing very early there, which hopefully for all of us watching will run for the entire season. That's what we want to see, don't we? We want to see some close fighting.
Yeah, the one person I'm looking at the moment, DJ Clark down there, 2.8 seconds off the pace.
Yeah.
Was obviously running extremely high towards the front last weekend in both races, saying had an unfortunate drive-through in the first one.
Yeah.
But I'm watching to see what he can make of Brands Hatch. I'd like to think he would be further up the grid than that, but let's see what happens.
He's gone up to 10th. You do that. I'm going to have a look at Lely, because Lely is 200ths off lock and load at the moment. And, well, I mean, Keddy's under a 10th as well, so there's absolutely nothing between those three.
Yeah, this is a serious battle for pole, isn't it?
Yeah. And we know what us racing drivers are like. Everyone's going to want to give way into the first and second corners, aren't they?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. After you, sir.
After you, sir. Yeah, exactly.
I copyrighted that. Okay, you can't have that. Yeah. My lawyers are going to be on the phone shortly. Right, let's see what you can do. What are you going to do, Lely? Lely does a 24.1, half a second down on his other lap, so that's not great for him. Someone's gone off at Paddock Hill Bend at the top there. Let's have a look at Joseph T. Rowe, our amateur. See how he's doing. And he's in the McClatchy. I was thinking about this the other day. We're looking at these guys and we're saying, they're amateurs or they're pro-ams or pros, but realistically, I don't think any of them really are. They've probably just got new accounts for the leagues and stuff like that, because I was just thinking, we keep talking about Joseph T. Rowe and we were talking about, who was the other chap? Who was the other guy last week?
Oh, it was hang on 1 second.
Wasn't it Alder something?
Unknown Alder.
Unknown Alder, right? And just think, if those two are like Platinum Pro drivers on their main account, and then because they've jumped in a league, they want to, keep everything fresh and new, and we're calling them amateurs, they might get a bit cross with us.
Hey, have they got a red badge? Yes,
they do have a red badge.
So
wow.
That's the end of that.
Wow. Okay. Vote for Timmy. Right. Anyway.
Will Friedman's got up there, second off the pace, but got himself into the best of the rest position behind the top three.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to be. Even with three fast drivers, they're so tightly matched. Any kind of tangling in the first few corners, he could take advantage if he can keep it there.
Yeah.
So not a bad place to be.
And it's such a short track as well. Even if you look at the splits, if you look down that grid now, you've got take the top 4 out of that. Yeah. 1.2, then 1.3, 1.4, 1.4, 1.5, 7, 2. It's a close grid, isn't it?
Yeah, and just to keep you happy, Coots, Mr. Error seemed to have a decent lap without any just there, because he's got himself to 8th position.
Well done, buddy.
In the pits, see how it's going. So 5 minutes, coming up to 5 minutes left of qualifying, and it's still exceedingly tight at the top. Oh, and Lock and Lowe's gone.
It's just gone quicker
yet again.
Yeah.
This is impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Tugberg finds himself down in 10th, Rashid down in 9th. You'd expect from their previous performances they would be slightly higher up the grid, but you never know. Maybe they've not quite got their eye in on the circuit yet.
Yeah.
Hutch finds himself there in 11th, right behind Tugberg. Call me. Am I wrong or not? Yeah. So
what should I call you?
Oh, so it was Tarek he was right up behind, wasn't it? So this time he finds himself in front of Tarek. Now I was going to say call me stupid, but wasn't it Tugberg he was racing with? It wasn't. It was Tarek Tornado. So they swapped positions in quality for this race compared to where they finished at the previous races.
Yeah.
But they're obviously closely matched again, so that could be interesting to watch through the race.
Yeah. I'll happily call you stupid as well, Timmy. There's no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of people would, to be honest, including myself most times. There we go.
Are you the type of person who gets scared when you look in the mirror because it's confusing, or is that just your age?
Yeah. I don't think I'm getting senile quite yet, but you never know.
No. Okay, let us see what Kenny can do towards the end of this lap. He's 1.2 tenths up at the moment, so is that on his last lap? Or oh, he's done a 23.6. Lock and Load, man. I think Lock and Load has got some kind of, well, I don't know. He's pretty quick, isn't he?
He's got some
I don't know. Well, I'm speechless. It's rapid pace. He didn't make a single mistake last week, and he was rapid, and he's on the front foot again today, which is well done.
I'm a bit disappointed. I missed the start of that first race last week because. At the end of the start line, he was like 7th. I'm like, what's going on there? Did he just not press the go?
Well, I know what happened. Because I watched one of the other threads. You see, because obviously I like to watch what all of our guys produce, and this chap, I think it was. Give me 1 second, guys. So I don't. I think it was JR Sim Racing. I think he is Lock and Load. Yeah, JR Lock and Load. And he'd started the race. He had map 12 on, or map 8. So, he hadn't realised, and he's then starting the race and plundering around, and he hadn't realised he'd got it on even a rain map or something like that. So that's why he got off the line slowly.
Are you trying to suggest that he's like me and you, and we have no idea what the buttons on our steering wheel do?
No, I'm not. No, I'm trying to suggest that he was probably also looking at Triple X Motorsports website on the way to the start of the race, and he just forgot he was in a higher engine mode. Yeah. But he fixed it, and obviously it worked.
To interrupt you. Look,
Keddy.
1:23.4.
Okay, we've got under 2 minutes of qualifying left. So who we got? Are we going Lock and Load or are we going Leddy? Let's go Lock and Load first. So Keddy's got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. So Lock and Load's still out on track at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, he's just taken off the track.
Excursion.
Right,
They're pushing hard.
Let's go,
As I
Lily.
said, Brands Hatch, it's easy to make a very small mistake that ends up in disaster.
Yep.
So he's still on the grey stuff right now, which is a win, if you ask me.
Yeah, let's go on board with him. Come on. Come on,
who are you on with? You're on with
I'm on with Team Glorious Wings, Lenny. Go on, push. Coming up to my favourite corner, just close your eyes and turn. I'm not dead. Brilliant. Well done.
So Lock and Load's pulled over, so he's give up on his lap, so he's not going to get another lap in, so he's definitely not going to improve his time.
It says Lenny's 3 tenths down on his 4 tenths down, so he's not going to improve. He's not going to improve.
Like Kenny's got that in there. Let's Will Freeman's also.
No, he's in the pits,
so that's his qualifying finish also. So it looks like the top 4.
Yep.
are going to stay where they are.
Yeah, that was a strong.
Then he's gone on to another lap actually, so he's on this last lap. So it's his last chance.
Okay.
I'm on board right now.
Yeah, me too.
He's coming down to Grey Mill Bend.
He's up at the moment. You can see in the top left, he's up by nearly 2 tenths.
Yeah.
His heart's going to be going.
I can't remember the name of. I can't remember what it's called.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, let me know if you remember.
I will.
So heading down to Hawthorns.
He's still up.
Try not to turn too early. Yeah, that looked like a good turn in.
Go, go, go. Oh, he should have been on there. He's 2 tenths. He's losing time now.
Yeah, pushed a bit wide on that one. Yeah, I think he's quit the lap.
No, I don't think it. No. He's still one. He's nearly 2 tenths up. So at this rate, he'll take pole. I think. No, he's 2.1 tenths down. Go, 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 go. Okay, so if he can hold it, it's going to be tight, man. It's going to be tight. Don't mess this one up. Power. He's going to get second. I think he's going to get second. Yeah, he's 2 tenths down. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
There we go.
24 thousandths per second.
Yeah, I did say that.
That was an excellent lap.
It was very much
under pressure. Last lap of the qualifying. That
wow.
was great.
Wow. What a great qualifying session. Kenny pulls it out the bag. Lely, strong lock and load. I think lock and load had more in there, to be honest. He made a couple of little mistakes. He was probably pushing a bit hard. But again, I said from last week, you know, Lenny was... He had a faultless drive, really. He just didn't quite have the pace of lock and load in the second part of the race, did he? So that could have been anything. Set up, tyres, who knows?
Well, like I said at the time, you know, if he's not quite got his tyres in the window, you know, your time drops away rapidly if your tyres are not where they should be. So, yeah, there's all sorts of possibilities on that one.
Well, I may have made the mistake that most people make and actually be in a car for the start of the race, but, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Lenny's car, so if we are locked into it and I can't move, it's okay, we're on the front row. Which, I wouldn't have been on the front row if I was racing, so great. Great. So what have you got? It's not saying how long is it at the moment. Who's your money on? Timmy, what do you reckon? Do you see anyone from the mid-pack pushing up, or are those top 4?
I think the top 4 are away, you know, provided there's no mistakes. Crazy's got himself into the best of the rest, and DJ Clark made moves up the grid there, qualified 6th on the grid, which is a bit more where I was expecting him to be from earlier in the qualifying. Yeah. Mr. Error, I mean, he seems to have performed really well here. It's, you know, maybe it's one of his favoured circuits. So yeah,
we will find out, won't we?
Hutch and Tarek in the midfield again. James Williams 13th is just behind them, and then Joseph again, our best performing amateur on there. So yeah, it looks like it's set up to be a really good race.
Yeah, good. Good.
So 2 minutes to go. Do you have a pre-race ritual or not?
I do actually. I hope.
Sorry, did you say you cry?
I do cry a lot when I race. I do cry a lot. I do what Rosberg used to do, and I put a tampon on my forehead, a lady's pad, to soak up the sweat in my room. Yeah, no, I don't really. No, I don't really have a ritual.
I was going to say, wouldn't you have to change it halfway through the race?
Probably, yes. Yes. More than once, no doubt. But no, I don't have a ritual. I just think, get Timmy. That's all I ever think about, is get Timmy. And that's it. That's it. Or stay ahead of Timmy. That's it. I don't care about anyone else, really.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, that's what they say. Yes, that's what they say about racing, isn't it? You know, you've got to beat your teammate first.
Indeed. Yeah.
The one person that you have got level playing field with. So you know.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you either.
Personally, I'm like, you know, after you. You know.
Yeah. You are
for you, Cooper. Anytime, you know.
I think you are a very generous racing partner. However weird that sounds. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, good luck, guys. We're doing a full lap again, aren't we? Yeah. I think they changed it, didn't they? So we're doing a full formation lap.
Yeah, we're on the main straight grid, so yeah, it'll be a full lap for warm up.
30 seconds.
Get the old zigzagging going.
Yeah.
Jam on the brakes a few times. Try and warm everything up.
And you see, look everyone, what a treat! Right, front row.
20 seconds.
Front row. There we go. Should we stay on board, or we should try and come out? Now, let's go. Let's do that way. That'll be nice, guys. Now we can see everybody concertina up and hopefully not love tap everybody in front like I did earlier.
What, everybody?
Well, I didn't love tap everybody. But
so, round we go.
are we going to be professional now? We're getting into the race.
Are we getting professional?
Yes.
I didn't realise that was possible.
No. Okay. It's just difficult when I'm flying a helicopter and talking at the same time. It's like, oh dear. Right, go.
So through Druids, coming up to Graham Hill. Nice and gently does it. Like I say, just try and warm the brakes up. Drag the brakes occasionally. You've got to be careful actually, because you can overheat the brakes warming them up round here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, any circuit on the warm up, if you drag the brakes for too long. On the short stuff, it's one of my favoured ways to do it. So on accelerator and brake at the same time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily necessary with, you know, a full lap warm up.
Yeah. I do like a good weave. You don't think that works very well, but I mean, in the last race, my tyres were a lot more sticky for the start of the race than potentially a Rouge. Because you're not really a weaver, are you?
I'm not a weaver, no.
You're a jabber, aren't you? You're just like...
I'm a jabber, yeah. I prefer getting my brakes up to temperature than getting my tyres up there.
So if anybody watching, if anyone's got any comments, if you want to ask any questions, obviously leave something in the comments. Me and Timmy...
Preferably not if you're driving.
Well, obviously.
You could try if you like, but, you know, it might cause you a few issues.
Well, some of them are pretty good at typing and driving, as we know from... Well, that's on PC, but... yeah, please make sure you drop a like and subscribe, because me and Timmy, we are going to alternate each week on who does the broadcast. And at the end of the year, we'll ask you guys to vote which of us is better, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
So you must vote for me.
BS we can both talk, isn't it?
Quite. And, I've got 2 kids and I need to feel loved, whereas Timmy, he just does what he likes, so he doesn't really care. Okay. Right, let's go.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
No.
Right, so they'll start to form up now into side by side. So obviously Keddy on pole has got the inside line into Paddock Hill Bend. Slightly tighter line can push you wide if you're a tad late on the brakes, gives the outside guy a chance to cut back up the inside. And if you can get a narrower line, you can get on the power earlier because of the way the car loads up through the dip. So let's see if the Keddy can hold a tight line in Paddy Hill Bend.
Yeah. It's all about turn one. It's turn one. If you get through turn one, and then everyone's going to be doing the same in turn two, aren't they? And
you could see somebody from the back sailing through into Druids on the first on the first lap.
Here we go then.
Judge braking.
Here we go. Race start initialised. Go, 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 boys!
We're away.
Oh, there's contact already. Contact at the back
already. Slow start.
Lock and load's ducked up the inside. Yeah. Gone defensive, as you should.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with Druids. It's very good to take a deep line on a late clipping point.
Oh, we've had another crash there. We've had a crash there. I'm just going to keep on this for a moment. Right, he's gone.
Do you know who it is that's gone?
No. Not at the moment.
Well, at the moment, Lock and Load's putting the pressure on Keddy. Keddy's tyres aren't quite up to pressure right now.
Yeah.
He's taking a defensive line.
Ooh, he's carrying a lot of pace through, much more pace through there then, wasn't he? Yeah, he's just trying to put him off his turning point, I think. See if we can feel the pressure like he can.
This could be the next season of the race if they're racing this close.
Yeah, I think.
Lock and Load takes a little bit too much grass there, but
yeah.
Still on it. Trying to show his nose.
Let's see. Are we going to be online for the move?
Too far away to throw it up the inside there, Druids.
Yeah,
so we'll just settle slightly, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I'll just stay on this for a little bit longer, and then I'll have a look down the field. Yeah. It looks like things are spreading out a little bit. Everything seems quite even at the moment. Certainly, obviously, lap 2. So.
Yeah. Apart from the 3 at the front, the next close battle really is Chica and Rashid in 6th and 7th. Rashid's 1.5 seconds behind. In fact, no, you've got Tug Burke, who's half a second behind Volton. So they're having a bit of a close battle at the moment. In fact, I've just gone on board, and just as I say that, it looks like he's had an off, which is unfortunate.
No.
So who else have we got that's running close at the moment? So they say the top 3.
It's the top 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let's have a little watch on Lely. So he's in a good position here. If he just gets in his flow, he's watching these 2 in front. Although Keddy looks like he's gapped him a little bit there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. I'm just on board with Rashid at the moment. It's 1.3 seconds, so he's dropped back a touch from Chica. They're just going through clearways onto the main start-finish straight. So the other one, actually, so Error now is... right up behind you, Volton. Less than half a second. The timing saying it's 0.8. He's got an undercut coming through clearways.
We're watching. Oh, I think who's got in the pits? You, Volton. I think he's just ducked in the pits. Maybe he didn't fuel, or so maybe he had qualifying fuel on.
Yeah, maybe. Error's got a bit of a wobbly bonnet there, so he's obviously been in the wars at some point. But he's away now in clear air.
Oh, look at that. That is a wobbly bonnet. But well done, Mr. Error. Okay. So Keddy's still half a second ahead of Lock and Load, who's pulled 6/10 now on Lely. But Lely's got a pretty comfortable gap back to Crazies. And let's see, where's our man Williams? Let's just see how he's getting on. Oh, don't.
So, I think what this is showing me right now is that this circuit has bitten a lot of people because there's massive gaps all over the place at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I say, small errors with tyres off the circuit can cost you lots of time, and this circuit really does force you to concentrate and stay on it at all times.
Yeah.
I think that's really showing in the showing in the times between people, basically.
See, look, Joseph T. Rose making a move on Scotty Turbo. He's right there. He's only 2/10 behind him.
Scotty goes deep, runs wide, so yeah, could be in the cut.
Yeah. Well done, Joseph. Scotty might have an issue there because he's falling off quite a bit, isn't he? Look, Mr. Error's catching fairly quickly now. So Lock and Load's 3/10 now. Should we go back and have a look at that one?
Yeah, you get.
Yeah. No, I think we need to. We need to, don't we?
What's going on? Yeah, so I think Rashid's got himself within a second of Chica. Just coming down towards Hawthorns. So no need to defend at this point.
Lock and Load is definitely, he's definitely got more pace. If he could get ahead of Keddy, I think he'd struggle to keep up with him. He's just all over the back of him. Completely.
I forget, correct me if I'm wrong, there's mandatory pit stops in this race?
There is one mandatory pit stop, yes. So I'm assuming that people are probably just going to fuel for the 30 minutes.
Well, we were discussing this in the last race, so you don't really get a penalty for it.
No.
Oh, yeah, he was looking up the inside into Paddock Bend there, just showing his nose. He likes to show his nose, doesn't he?
Oh.
Try and force an error out of people.
Yeah.
And this back marker is coming up with.
Yeah, Williams.
Who's the back marker?
It's Mr. Williams.
Right, okay.
He doesn't really want to be getting in the way. He should jump out of the way, sir. Well, not jump, because that's not the rules, is it? But you know what I mean. Is he going to move? He has. He's moved over. Well done. Yeah. Good racing etiquette there. Let them get on with it. Everyone's flashing each other. That's nice.
Yeah, I think the other thing this is showing right at this moment in time is just how difficult it is to actually overtake at Brands Hatch. Provided you hold your line and you keep half decent pace, you know, there are no obvious overtaking places. Even coming down to Hawthorns, which is the end of the longest straight, it's such an open sweeping corner at the end there. There's no heavy braking zone to try and outbrake people, so it's exceedingly difficult to make a move unless somebody in front of you makes a mistake.
Yeah, you've got to be very brave, haven't you? You've got to really send one, and but you're risking there because if you're running deep, if you're both on the same pace-ish, you're going to have similar braking and turning points. So if you're going to send one, you've got to make sure it sticks, because if you, as you said earlier, if you put one tyre on the grass or the gravel, then yeah, you're in a world of pain, aren't you?
Yeah, I think any overtaking manoeuvre at Brands Hatch, unless it comes from an error, you need cooperation of the other driver.
Yeah,
you know, got to be alert to it, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a send. You know.
Yeah. That is a great battle going on there.
Yeah, I think Rashid has now got himself 0.3 of a second off Chica. I think they're coming through Druid. Yes, they are. Just coming out of Druid right now.
I've just picked them up now.
So this is the closest race of them, the lead couple.
But the thing is, who we got? Rashid's in the Bentley. You know, we know that Bentley's got pace. So maybe it's just some tracks obviously suit certain driving styles, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I prefer, this is a sort of circuit I prefer, kind of fast flowing circuits.
Yep.
It's a bit like music. I like my rhythms, you know, like rhythm type music, you know. I don't know. It's the same sort of thing.
You like rhythm? I like white. I prefer white noise. I think it's really soothing. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't class it. Lots of people like rap, but for me, it's not kind of, you know, rhythmic. It's not flowing. Just like circuits that I like.
Timmy, shut up. Everybody is saying the same thing. It's brilliant that we're getting to know that you like rhythmic music and you like tracks that have a good flow to them. So this track, the nerds, tracks like that you generally do excel at.
Donny.
Yeah, oh yeah, Donny. Yeah, everyone loves Donny.
What about yourself then? What sort of tracks do you prefer?
Me? Well, I'll tell you in a moment, but the cars are just coming onto a beautiful piece of the track here. Probably it's the nicest part of the track. It's the best. It's the Cooper Straight, obviously. Look at it, it's sensational, and we're going to get a move. He's going to dive. No, he's thought better of it. Me, I'm more of a point and squirt type guy, if I'm honest. So tighter technical tracks I like. Oh, and Chica's taken to the grass there a little bit, but
lots of concentration there.
Yeah, he's probably listening to me. Yeah, so Zolder, Misano, and every other track in the world. No, those sort of tracks are the ones that I really like. This is good. I think Chica's obviously feeling a little bit under pressure here.
I think one of the things I like about Brands Hatch, you've got to be so committed on it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, it's so easy to put, a tyre just over the edge of the track, but
there's
got to be committed.
You need to go to Will and Crazies.
Yeah.
There's a nice battle going on there. I wonder what is going on with Mr. Williams. I mean, unless he's carrying damage, he's struggling at the moment. But these two, well, they're having a good one.
Yeah. So obviously, Will Friedman qualified in 4th place and Crazy's in 5th. So they've swapped positions. So we missed when that happened or why that happened. But obviously, they're now in reverse order from their qualification positions.
Yeah.
We seem to have lost as well. We seem to have lost DJ Clark, so I'm not sure what happened there, but
yeah, we do, don't we?
Anymore, don't we?
No.
So
maybe there was a connection issue there, which is a shame.
It is, yeah. I was looking forward to seeing what he would do in this race.
Yeah.
And Joseph, our amateur friend, finds himself up in 8th place. That's up from 14th, so that's 6 places he's made.
That's amazing.
So he's doing well. Obviously, you've got a lot of early pitters again, so obviously everybody from 11th all the way to the bottom, apart from Tugberg, has already pitted. So again, we'll have to keep an eye out and see if anybody gains any time out of that. Our friend James Williams is one of the guys that pitted early.
Friedman got a massive fist of oversteer there, so obviously he's just dropped nearly half a second going through.
She's going for a move up into Druids, going to outbrake him. Could come together. Oh, they did have a touch there. The Mercedes. Unfortunately, I think you missed that one, but
I did.
He did go for a move and tried to outbrake him to Druids, and really, I think he'd got the job done, but was a bit squeezed on the apex there. But he lives to fight another day, and he's still only a second or so behind, so this one looks like a really good battle right at the moment. Yeah,
apologies for that, folks. I was too busy trying to mess up the broadcast.
In fact, Chica has given the position to Rashid down towards Hawthorne. So
yeah, and let's see what pace he's got then. Let's see if he can pull away and use that Bentley, or if he can't. So Will is still 7 tenths behind Crazy, so that hasn't changed. And Lock and Load has lost a couple of tenths on that by the look of it.
I'd just like to say, whilst we're on the subject, that credit to Chica there, because it wasn't a massive squeeze. Oh, and it's got back through again. But that wasn't a massive squeeze. So I was going to say, fair play to Chica, good sportsmanship there. It looks like he's indicating to go into the pits.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which he is. He's ducked into the pits, so Rashid's going round for another lap.
Now, this is where he's got to punch one. This is where I, earlier on tonight, lost the race when the guy first pitted. And I didn't have a great lap thereafter, but I love Brands as a track. As a spectator as well, it's a great track to go to, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see a lot of the track. Obviously, in certain places you can see more than others where you stand, but especially obviously the shorter, is it the Indy circuit? I forget, is that what they call it? I forget now, but it's basically a little bowl, isn't it? So. Yeah. It's a bit hard to get out to the ends of the GP circuit, but it's a really good track. Good facilities. Probably the next best one in terms of facilities after Silverstone in the UK, I would suggest. Yeah,
I agree. So what we should also do, guys, is arrange an FRL race weekend, so we can all go and watch the GTs there and have a couple of beverages. It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
It's a good idea. But you won't be here, you'll be in Abu Dhabi, so that's why we'll do it. Luck and Load's only 2.5 tenths behind Kenny now. He's putting some pressure on there. Let's join this one.
So Will Friedman's been in the pits and out, so he's our highest placed guy who's been in the pit. So I want to keep an eye on him because undercut can work quite well in this, tyre wise. Because you're surprised how much they actually go off and where through the race, even with sprint races. So be interested to see where he finds himself after everybody else has pitted.
I agree. So Lock and Load is still halfway mark. He's still putting. I mean, these guys.
So who's going to blink first?
Yeah, that's right.
If it was me, if Lock and Load went in, I'm not really sure how much time they're going to lose in the pits, but I would suggest no worse off than 5th place, and probably in clear air. So if I was Lock and Load, I'd be thinking about pitting early, but
yeah, and they're coming up to a back marker now as well. Darren Mark. No one's. Yeah, he's going. You predict Lock and Load's in the pits. Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh, like we said earlier, he's coming too hot and he's clattered the wall there. Yeah. So now he's going to have some damage to fix, which that might be enough for Keddy to have, if he has a clean pit stop, to get in and out.
Yeah,
Lenny's in as well.
Yeah, I really think at Brands Hatch that sacrificing a bit of time into that pit lane is definitely worth it. Yeah. I'd rather lose a couple of seconds there than find yourself needing repairs and what have you. So we'll see how much time he loses in the pits for that. Yeah.
And so it looks like Tugberg and King of the Hills have just decided to...
so Rashid's in as well, just so
to retire.
And he's done exactly the same, overshot the pits.
Oh, yeah. That bent is like a magnet for those barriers at the moment, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's the shiny metal.
So the top... So Keddy's the only one who hasn't pitted.
Hasn't pitted yet.
So, like I say, that could be a bad move. But like I say, Rock and Load's lost time through the pits. We'll have to see. Could even itself out.
Oh, and he's going. See, he's pushing. He's just gone wide there. Keddy's going to be cutting in this lap. He's put it off twice. No, I don't mean fully off, but he's taken the grass twice. So I think he's really pushing at the moment. He's going to come in this. Yeah, here he comes. Is he going to hit the wall? No.
To hand it to
All right.
Load.
There we go. Let's go on board with Lock and Load then, and then let's see where they come out. Who comes out in front?
So on board with Lock and Load.
So he's got Chica behind him. I'm going to keep an eye on that time because I always find Chica's we gained a little bit then, but I always find when I've coming out from my pit stop, it takes quite a while. Maybe it's just my poor driving. It always takes me a little while to get them warmed back up properly, which is where I find I end up losing a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable, really. You're also not used to the grip level on the tyres, you know?
Yeah.
Because they will be producing more grip than your warns, so you know, it might take a few corners, half a lap to get used to the sort of grip level that you got. So just have to be a little bit cautious when you first come out of pits.
Well, Lock and Load is 3 seconds ahead of Keddy now, so he put in a stonking lap there. Well, it hasn't changed on the timing yet.
Yeah, as I say, it's...
But I was on board with him and it showed it. There you go, now it's changed. Okay, so where have we got battles then? So he's got a 3 second lead. Where's Letty?
So like I said, even though Lock and Load's said hello to the barrier on the way into the pits, like I say, this tyre dynamic definitely rewards you for the undercut.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw Keddy had a couple of offs, so that would obviously have been a part of the reason why he finds himself where he is now in second place.
Yeah.
Question is, can he gather himself back together and get back on it and close the gap? Well, if early performance is to be believed, then you would suggest Lock and Load is the faster, even though he qualified second, because obviously he was all over the back of Keddy for most of the first half of this race. So
you may want to have a look at your Volton and Dell. They are literally together at the moment. They're having a good battle in 12th and 13th place. There's only 2 tenths between them at the moment. That could, and that's the other thing with, there's always close battles. Okay, I know not everyone's close together, but when you are close, it's not. You don't just breeze up and away you go. You have to fight, don't you? You've got to start watching that guy or girl. You've got to start looking at where they're good, where they're bad, where you think you can take advantage.
Run deep.
Yeah.
Dale's got to run.
Yeah. Who's going to go?
Where's he going? He's got to go the long way round. And paddock hill bend.
Pray. Nice move in the end. Has he gone wide? No. But he should go defensive with that line. No, he hasn't. So he's going to slip up the inside of him. Should have gone defensive.
We've got Hutch coming up behind them as well. So Hutch is 3.4 seconds behind. It's been closing a little bit while they've been battling. So
yeah. Hutch is only 1.8 now, I think, behind. So let's keep an eye on this shot because we should see Hutch coming into picture pretty soon.
Keddy at the front there is dropping away, so Lock and Load is faster at this moment in the race, so he's dropped some time up there at the front.
What's the gap at the front?
Wow, I'm not sure if my timing's quite correct as yours, but it's 4.9. Because I seem to be
5.1 mine says.
5.1, yeah, 5.128 mine's showing right now.
Yeah, I did think in the first section of the race, we're watching him following Keddy. Look, he just seemed, the car seemed a lot more planted. He seemed he was really driving within himself. He was just sitting on the back of him. To be fair, that was my view anyway. So Hutch is now 1.3 behind.
So we've got just under 9 minutes of the race left. So what we're talking there, maybe 6 or 7 laps to go.
Yeah.
So we're a good over two thirds of the way through the race. Lock and Load seems to have a comfortable gap right at this moment in time.
Yep.
Again, Keddy's lost another 0.1 of a second there since we last looked.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lely's sitting in third place, kind of having a bit of a lonely race right at the moment. And then Will Freeman's got himself back to fourth, so I think he did make some time back there because he had dropped lower than that, had he not? Or was I mistaken?
I think he had a bit of an off at the on the second corner. I think he went wide on the second corner, so he dropped a few places. But I mean, he qualified fourth, I believe, so he was one of the quick bunch. So he's probably just formed himself back up there. In terms of other battles going on at the moment, Hutch is trying to latch onto the back of Evolton and Dell.
Yeah, it's got that down to 1.5 seconds, isn't it?
Well,
so
it looks like Evolton's had an off because they've just swapped over those. Oh, he's coming back at him.
So yeah, I mean, so Mr. Error finds himself sitting 10th, so he's dropped a couple of positions. Joseph is still right up there after all the pit stops have panned out in 9th place. He's dropped one since we last spoke to him, but still 5 positions up.
Yeah.
So he's having a great race at the moment. And Scotty Turbo as well. Scotty Turbo qualified to something like 15th or 16th, finds himself in 8th. So again, Scotty Turbo's having a great race. We haven't really seen what's been happening to him, so he's obviously been keeping his nose clean, as it were, and worked his way up the field. He's done a great job so far. Yeah, well done, Scotty. I'm going to stay on this little battle here. This is the closest we've got on the track at the moment. Which little battle's that, mate?
It is Dow, Hutch and Evolton. 12th, 13th and 14th. So Evolton's gone from the front of that pack to the back. He had a slight off.
Still tight though, yeah?
Yeah, there's about half a second between those two.
Yeah, so it looks like obviously King of the Hills and Tugberg are basically out of this race, aren't they? So they've been sitting in the pits, 7 laps, 14 laps down. Tarek Tornado finds himself 3 laps down, still out on track. So not really sure what happened to Tarek Tornado, but not where we'd expect to see him at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Evolton's got a bit of an issue there. I mean, he looked a bit. I think his tyres are overheated because he's very slippery, very slidey out of those corners, and Hutch and Dell have gapped him a little bit there. So, and there's a move going on. There's a move. Hutch and Dell. Hutch has got him. and Yvolton's come back through. There's the three abreast there. This is a good battle. So Hutch has gone from the back of that group to the front. His car looks well used like last week. Probably not quite as bad as last week, to be fair. And he's pulling away.
Yeah. So just so you're aware, we've got obviously Will was closing down Lely there, but just made a mistake. Not just before Dingle Dowels through Westfields. Got it all out of shape and on the grass, so he's lost himself a second or so to Lely.
Yeah.
But he did seem like he was closing him down, so I'm keeping an eye on this one and see if he can kind of bridge that gap again.
Yeah. Yeah, Rashid is just... Yeah, Rashid's doing what he needs to do, really. He's probably too far away at the moment, although he is catching him. Let's have a little watch of Rashid. Just for a moment. Shall we go on board? Let's go on board with him. Let's see him in the chase. Although Darren Mark in front, he's not for position, but
Second, it's quite stretched at the moment. Like you say, still Hutch, Yvolton and Dal are the guys that are close.
yeah.
So like I say, Dal is dropping back slightly, but Yvolton's still within 0.6 off Hutch. Chica just outside the top 10 there. Seems to be all on his own in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Hutch did the right thing, got out of the way. Yeah, it is. It's all very... And that's the other thing, it's such a short track. And you think when everyone's getting into their rhythm, if you have close battles, they generally stay close. But we're actually having quite a... Since the pit stops anyway, things have really spaced out, haven't they?
Yeah, so it looks... I mean, Lachlan's doing exactly what he did last week at the last race. He's got himself in front. He's just being extremely consistent at the moment. You know,
yeah.
Taking maybe 50 thousandths, a tenth of a second out of Keddy every lap right now. Just seems to have the measure of it.
And it all adds up. It all adds up, doesn't it? That consistency. And we see that all the time when we're racing, don't we? You can get some people that are ridiculously fast, maybe for 1 or 2 laps, and then you'll see them sat in the wall. That consistency is key.
Are you expecting me to make a comment on that today?
No, I wasn't. I did. Do you know what? I did think this would. He's just given me a beautiful in there, but I wasn't actually aiming that at you for once. I was trying to be.
Change, yeah.
It does, yeah. I'm feeling generous, but yeah.
Thanks, mate.
People like Timmyblunder, who's normally blisteringly fast, will usually end up in the wall because he's sweating too much, whereas I'm a little more measured.
Steering wheel gets a bit sticky and slidey, and that's a whole other story there.
I was going to say.
So,
I can't believe you just said that. Anyway. What's that? Well, at the moment, I'm giving him his dues. I'm giving Luck a little bit of airtime. Just watching those lines. He's very tidy. He's coming up on a couple of back markers.
What about going on board? Let's have a look at his. Let's have a look at his steering inputs.
Okay, let's have a look at the steering
inputs. Very
inputs.
smooth, where he's fighting the car. I'd expect him to be very smooth like Bentley.
Yeah.
Although it's quite an undulating circuit and tight and whatever. So it'd be interesting to see what his inputs are like.
It's good for everybody to see, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very little drama going on there. So up the Pilgrim's drop, which never makes sense to me unless the circuit went backwards in sort of form at some point. Then Hawthorns.
Tarek throws it off. Unlucky Tarek. Scotty Turbo's next.
So Westfields there. That's a corner you've got to be committed in without turning in too early. So he's through Sheen Curve there. It's probably my favourite corner on the circuit. It's the one you've got the most committed on.
Yeah.
But it's also the one that will most likely to bite you.
Yeah.
And then they run down to Clearways.
So it's going to be his last lap now, with just under a minute left of the first race.
Yeah, very smooth inputs. Joy to watch, to be fair.
Let's enjoy his last lap.
So while you do that, I'll have a look.
Yeah, you have a quick look down here.
Hutch appears to be almost low, so we didn't see that happen.
What's that?
He's gapped Uvolton in 6 seconds, so whether Uvolton behind him's made a bit of an error, so Hutch seems to have got himself away in 12th place.
Yeah, I did say that Uvolton's tyres, though, the back end was so loose on that car before Hutch got him, so that's probably what it is.
I'm not sure how he's managed it and where that happened, but our friend Mr. Williams has found himself up in 7th place.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, he better get a shift on. No, you better get a shift on, though, because he might get lapped before the end. Yeah, I think Lock and Load's just taking it easy now, making sure he's hitting all of those apexes, opening the steering nice and smooth on the throttle. That is a deserved first victory. So let's see him across the line. And there we go. Lock and Load. P1. Yep. Well done, buddy.
Just coming over the line as well, yeah. Lely just coming over clearways onto the start-finish straight, so Lely will round out 3rd place. So I do believe, I could be wrong, but I'm going to double check before I say it. But yeah, Lock and Load and Lely have been on the podium all 3 races so far. So very well done to both of them.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You know, if by the time we get through this evening's 2 races, you know, I think you're going to see a split in the field already. And then I'd love to. You would love to be in that situation, wouldn't you? If you're in that top split, 'cause you'd be thinking, right, I'm going to have an awesome battle for the whole season. Or you might be like, that's going to be a lot of damn hard work. But yeah, there we go. So result: Lock and Load, Keddy, Lely. There's your podium. Will, Crazies, Rashid, Williams, Scotty Turbo. Our amateur, Joseph T. Rowe, well done, in 9th, Mr. Error, that makes up your top 10.
Yeah, so, the question is, this next race, what do we think we're looking for in terms of, or looking at in terms of battles? I don't know, so, in terms of where we were at when we started that race, you know, any big movers? Because Rashid, I think, is basically... he's jumped up because I don't think he was qualified as high up as that, was he? Or was he?
I don't think we've had any huge movers in that one.
Yeah, so yeah, he was 9th, so he made 3 positions there. Crazy's in 5th, started in 5th. Will Friedman, so Friedman 4th was 4th. So Lock and Load's obviously made 2 places, so the big mover at the front there. Keddy losing a place, and Lely losing a place. So Joseph T. Rowe, driver of the day so far, 5 places gained in that race.
Yeah.
Scotty Turbo, actually, yeah, I forget Scotty Turbo. He's jumped maybe 8 places.
Well, he qualified 16th.
Yeah, and finished 8th. So actually, yeah,
that's
so
very
far,
good.
Scotty Turbo is the man of the hour, as it were.
Uvolton, Dow, Darren, they all qualified at the bottom of the grid, so they finished pretty much where they did. To be fair, Williams qualified 13th and finished 7th, but you know, so that's not bad going. Hutch ended up a bit further down.
Actually, I'd be happy with that now.
Yeah,
6
indeed.
places, can't whinge about that, especially on a circuit like this.
That's right. So we've got qualifying 2. Again, if anybody doesn't know, if it's the first time watching, we have a short qualifying before race 2, and I believe everybody can take part in this qualifying. However, what we don't have, the top 3 from the first race must start from the back of the grid for the second race. So we can't do a full reverse grid.
I take it this is the experiment that James was on about earlier when we started the show.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how that works.
Yeah. Right, so we're with Rashid. Who's first out the bag there, actually? We always want to see the first one, don't we?
55.
Chica. Let's go with Chica. Let's see how he gets on. I don't know why, but I want Chica to do well. I felt he was, you know, he had a poor race last week. I don't think it was through his own fault. There was circumstance and issue, you know, like crashing and whatnot. And in the last race, you know, he did move up the field a little bit. I just don't know if he struggles with this Merc, because she's a handful.
Can be, yeah. I've never been a fan of the Merc. I find her way too understeery. She watches and I can't figure out how to dial her out.
Yeah.
No, it's not my cup of tea, the Merc, which is unusual because I tend to prefer front-engine cars. Although in most of the championships I'm driving in at the moment, I'm in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I actually prefer front-engine stuff normally, but there we go. So
right, Chica's on his way around then.
Yeah, I'm on with. Oh, well, I was on with Williams, but
who's that gone off there?
Yeah, I'm on with Williams, who is behind Chica on the track, but went a bit deep into Padkill Bend, but not done such a bad lap since, to be fair. And he looks like he might be gaining on Chica so far this lap. I'm not sure, but
no, it's 2 point. Well, he's just lost a bit. Well, he is. He's just actually gained 2 tenths, and then going down again. So it's just a concertina effect. But yeah, Chica makes his way up towards the quick part, the really quick part of the circuit. Dab on those brakes, get it turned in.
So I think Rashid is the next person on the track after Williams.
Yeah, he is, yeah. And then Dell, maybe.
So they'll be the first 3 to post the times.
Yeah. Yeah, he's using the track nicely there. He's Chica. Slightly missed that apex, but he's just kept that in bounds. Okay, he's pushing.
Right. So Rashid backed out of that one, so maybe he made an error early on.
Right.
But he's backed out of that, unless he was just out of the pits, but I didn't think so.
25.8. 25.8 for Chica. 26.6 for Williams. Yeah. Okay. Dow's put one in as well, okay.
Next over the line is your Volton. Right, so that's just a step to start his fast lap, I believe, yeah. So he's just onto his fast lap.
Right, I want to go on board, so I want to see if he's just having issues with the Porsche, because we know what the Porsche can be like. Or whether it was
tight out of fluids, that.
Yeah.
If that was the back end slide.
It's washing everywhere.
It's like lift off oversteer to me.
Yeah.
And then that car, I have to say that car looks horrid to drive with the Porsche. So the front end's washing.
Yeah.
You could see the front end washing there as you went through 30s. You know, the back end stepping away when it's off camber, you know, downhill into Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like.
Nah, no thanks.
Wait on the throttle. Yeah, you've got to wait on the throttle forever to stop understeering, and then
there she goes.
Be careful. Yeah, again, slight lift off oversteer. So, yeah, not looking like the friendliest car to drive right at the moment.
No. But then our man Chris Hay, yeah, in terms of YouTube, he would suggest that if you're getting lift off oversteer, the problem isn't the setup, Timmy. The problem is the person in the chair. That's what he says. Now, I don't get it, because I get lift off oversteer all the time, and I'm brilliant.
I think that's a bit of a sweeping statement to say it's the person in the chair.
It is,
you know, there's plenty of things you can do to dial out lift off oversteer in a car. But hey,
I'm just saying that is a direct quote, so you know. I'm not saying I agree with him. Anyway, so let's have a look at the times.
So Will behold, Will Freeman, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not a bad. Again, that's a good.
That's a good time.
I suppose,
like
you know.
I said, anything in a 24, low 24 is a decent lap time.
Yeah.
Basically, Lely, Lock and Load, and Keddy are just on some other planet as far as this split's concerned.
Yeah, Crazy's just had a big handful of oversteer there.
So he's out on track right now. So
Crazy's is out and doing a lap.
Williams is through clearways and about to come over the start-finish straight. So
I've just picked him up.
There's only 3 people not in the pits, so he's improved his time but stayed where he is. And Rashid just got in there, a second off the pace, just bumped Williams down at the last.
Okay. So we've got Friedman and Tugberg on the front row, Crazies and Mr. Error, third and fourth. Well done, Mr. Error. Chica and Tarek. This is good. Rashid and Williams. Joseph T. Rose qualified in 9th with Hutch in 10th. And then you got your Volton and Dow. So Hutch, your Volton and Dow were together in the last race, so they can continue that. And then you got Keddy. So Keddy shouldn't stop. Well, he needs to go to the back anyway. Darren Mark, Scotty, and then Lock and Load and Leddy will have to move to the back. And then you've got DJ Clark, King of the Hills, and Ryan Harrison in there as well. That's your grid for the second race. What do you think? Can they get through the pack? Is any of them going to get a podium? You've got to say they had a big pace advantage over everybody.
Yeah, it depends, doesn't it, on the start? You know, Will Friedman was not that far off the pace. You know, it's a decent quali time, 1:24.2.
Yeah.
If he can scamper away where everybody else is squabbling, then I don't know. It's like I say, it's a very difficult track to overtake on. So you know, trying to make your way through the field here is probably more difficult than most of the circuits that you're going to visit.
Yeah. And we are only in the third race of the season, so even if we're looking at some of the chaps towards the back, that have qualified towards the back, well, they're not going to be inclined to jump out of the way, are they? So that's going to make it more difficult for the top three in the last race. But that's the beauty of doing it this way. They've got to work hard, don't they?
Indeed, yeah. So who are you on board at the start of this?
I believe I am actually on board with James Williams for the start of this one. And that isn't because he did the interview at the start of the show, it's just where I ended qualifying.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think it's mainly because he was one of the last people to come across the line in quali, so...
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the pack.
Well, let's see, 1 minute 42. Before we get this one underway. Do you think everybody that is involved with the leagues and plays the game understands that you should not come out of your setup? And if you do, what it does to your car? Should we share that?
Share away. You'd like to think most of the people...
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Especially at the sharp end.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not necessarily aimed for the sharp end, really. It's just a bit of information. But yeah, I mean, when you're waiting to start a race like we are now, you shouldn't come out of your setup, because as soon as you come out of your setup, you're in the car, and what's happening, Timmy? The tyres are
cold.
That's right,
cold,
tyres.
Cold.
So sit in your setup, even if you've got nothing to do. Sit in your setup until 15 seconds to go, then get out and press drive, and then your tyres will be nice and toasty.
I don't suppose it's as important when you're about to do an entire lap of warm-up if you can zigzag the hell out of it like you like to do. Less of an issue, I suppose, but yes, you want to stay in setup, or you can just drop into setup and back out just before start.
Yeah, you could do. 10 seconds.
The team have taken your tyre blankets off, and away we go. So this is going to be interesting.
And who put it on the grass? That's Hutch, and it's got to be Hutch. Well, he drives it in that car. It might not be Hutch. It might be someone else. But
I thought you said you were on board with Williams.
Orange
Ferrari. Orange Ferrari. That was Tarek, maybe. I would have thought Tarek Tornado. No.
I'll tell you. Let's go.
Yeah, Hutch is in an Audi. Yeah.
Yeah, Hutch in the Audi, and so's Mr. Williams, and that's what we're in. In fact, yeah, let's stay right on board for the start and see just how much chaos is caused into Paddock Hill Bend. Yeah, that could be quite interesting. See, look, so as you were saying, look, you know, he's accelerating, he's got his foot on the brake as well, he's just warming those brakes, and we know the brakes directly will help the warming of the tyres as well, depending on how brake ducts.
Yeah, well, obviously the more temperature you put into your brakes, it radiates through your wheels. So this is the thing that, you know, when you're setting up and you want to be at the sharp end, these are the sort of things you've got to think about. You know, if you can't go and set tyre pressures and those sorts of things and then go, oh, I'm going to change my brake ducts without then thinking about the consequences relating to your brakes, to your tyres. So you've got to do everything in a kind of combination, and, you know, any time you change anything on a car setup, you've got to think about the impact that's having on everything else within the setup. So yeah, and that is basically what makes it hard to do car setups, is the fact that you've got to think about how each change affects everything else on the car.
Of course.
So yes, it can be entertaining to try and figure out what's the best way to go on setups in that respect. If
you've got the time to do that.
Obviously, it all takes time, but then if you want to run at the sharp end of something,
you've got to put the time in.
FRL leagues, then you need to put some effort in, yeah.
So why don't you? Oh no, sorry, everybody. Didn't even say that at the top of the show. I should mention a big congratulations, okay, for the newest FRL winner in the Taco Tuesday League, none other than Timmyblunder. He blitzed it last week. He did very well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I did alright, I guess. Yeah.
Privileged to be your teammate there.
Yeah. I had to work hard for it.
Yeah.
They made me work hard.
Good. Good. Yeah. Here we go then. They are coming round to the start line. Take it away for the first couple of corners, Mr. Blunder.
Okay, so see what this runs like into Paddock Hill Bend. Like I say, the inside guy has got to try and keep it tight because it's easy to push wide, come together, and then be straight on the inside coming up to Druids. Oh, so Tarek's off. Oh, we've got collision up front there. It's Crazies. I forget. I didn't mention you. I didn't see who else it was.
Will. That's Will. Crazies and Will Friedman.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
So, round Druids. So we've got in there. He's got Tuckberg up in second place, yeah. So Chica finds himself in third. I can't actually see from here where I'm who the leader is. So let's change.
Mr. Error. Mr. Error.
Oh.
Well done, Mr. Error.
Indeed, yeah.
Let's go on board with Tuckberg.
Made some moves going into there, didn't he? So
yeah. Excellent work.
Chica's lost a little bit of ground on coming into Hawthorns. Maybe Tuckberg's made some tweaks to the car setup after the last race. Maybe his setup wasn't quite right, or his tyre pressures weren't quite in the window.
Yeah.
Because he's on it right at the moment.
Well, he looks. Oh, I was going to say, he looks quite aggressive, but that'll be that one. Unlucky Tuckberg.
That corner, pushing too hard. You've got to turn in early there, be committed, but.
Oh, look at Rashid. Rashid is all over the back of Chica. These guys know this is their chance. They've got to make a break now before the quicker guys, and we'll look at the quicker guys in a little while before they start trying to come through. So
yeah, well, Keddy finds himself in 11th already and Lock and Load in 12th, so they're already making moves up the field. Lely seems to be stuck though down in 18th, so not sure what happened to him at the start. Crazies now finds himself dead last, so he's got some work to do. Keddy's in the pits actually. Keddy's just in the pits.
Oh dear.
So, I don't know. Well, and so is Lely, so they may well be changing tyres really early to get an undercut and try and get some clear air, and that could be the difference. That could make a massive difference to their race.
Yes, indeed, I totally agree with you. Joseph T. Rowe, our amateur, is in 7th. He's right up the back side of Tarek at the moment. Figuratively speaking, obviously. Two tenths.
Got Williams up there in 5th, so only half a second behind Tuckberg. Tornado's half a second behind him. So those four are very close to each other.
Wow, I mean, just look ahead. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of them, and it's so close.
So, Mr. Error's pulled a little bit of a gap. Chica's now 1.4 seconds behind. You've got Rashid in third, who's only 0.3 behind.
Yeah.
It's doing a great job of sticking with Chica right at this moment, and Tugbert's just over a second behind them. Got Mr. Williams up close for company,
I think he's got in the
Tornado as well. This is such close racing right at the front at the moment.
Yeah, I think Williams has just jumped in the pit, so it looks like strategy is more in play in this one, really. Obviously, as you're saying, the quicker front runners have ducked in early, so they can get a nice long run to get into their groove and rhythm and start pumping in the laps, whilst everybody else who aren't as quick at the moment, they're all fighting, as we said, because this is their chance. They're near the front of the grid, and oh my god! So it does look like strategy's more important at the moment.
Yeah, I think Rashid's he's got to be a bit more. He's got to think a bit more about where he's putting his car. I think he's trying to place his car in a threatening position to try and make Chica make a mistake, but he's going narrow at certain places where it's not really overtaking places. You know, he's got to bide his time and
he's hurting himself.
A clear gap, yeah.
He's very close now, though. He's very close. See, he just wants to send it and dive. That's what that's the temptation. Is just, oh, I'm so close to the guy, but it's probably not going to happen. As you say, it's such a tight circuit.
So he's got a good run out of clearways there. Chica in front's a little bit slow out there, but it's too far away to try
and get slip.
He's having a go, maybe into Paddock Hill Bend.
And all the while, we've got Tugberger's now catching them up just behind.
He's going for it. It's diving under into Druids.
That's going to be contact.
Oh, yes. Way too deep, a bit too late on the brakes there. Realistically, you should give that place back. But
yeah, I would do. That wasn't. I don't think that was a clear move.
Yeah, he was way too deep into Druids there. Totally missed his braking zone, but
well, even if
make the apex.
No, even if he modulated his braking there just to try and get up alongside him, he's playing a dangerous game, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's allowed Tugbert to tuck right back up underneath Chica as well now. So coming into Hawthorns, good line through there early on the gas. He could I thought for a minute he was going to take a dive up the inside, but he's thought better of it.
Yeah, he's all over the back of him.
See, that's obviously put Chica in position coming out of Druids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually on board with him at the moment. He's gone a bit wide there, a bit of oversteer, and it looks like Chica's got a bit of breathing room.
So you got Lock and Load is still 13th, first of the people through the pits. Keddy's 5 seconds behind him now. James Williams is 9 seconds behind that. So yeah, Lely, I don't know what's happened to Lely, but he's having a bit of a disastrous start to the race. Let's see if he can fight his way through.
Yeah.
He's going to keep his recent run of form up, and he's got a lot of work to do from where he is right now.
He does indeed. But these guys will be confident. Okay.
Yeah, I fully expect them to be high up in the points, but I don't know. I think it's all going to be about these pit stops later on in the race. You know, how tired are their tyres going to be at the end of this race? Though,
well,
having pitted within 2 laps, was it?
Yeah, it was. I think the tyres will be fine. I don't think, as long as they've got the pressures right, maybe a little bit cooler to start, they'll be okay. But closest battle at the moment is Will Friedman and Hutch in 9th and 10th. There's 0.3 between them, and Hutch is in front at the moment. Will's chasing him down, both in Audis.
See, if you were Will Friedman, where you were at the start of this race, you know, you're being held up, I would suggest, on this circuit. You know, maybe he should have pitted already. I think definitely he should pit this lap if he can't find a clear way past them. Somebody's off in front of them, into the wall. They've gone and across the circuit. Oh, that was so lucky.
That was
I'm not sure who that was. One of the Porsches.
Your Voltum,
okay.
Fortunately.
Just saw the cloud of dust. The last thing you want to see as you come through that corner, blind over the crest. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. He's just ducked it in the pits. Will's popped it in the pits.
Yeah, I think that's a wise move.
Me too.
Could make or break his race. So what else have we got going on? So Tugberg's still right up there behind Chica,
Yeah,
0.4
and Tarek,
seconds.
good old Tarek's only 8 tenths behind them, so that's looking. I mean, that is the closest battle. Well, Scotty Turbo's actually. Let's have a look at Scotty Turbo. He's 4 tenths behind Dell at the moment. That could develop nicely. We haven't looked at Scotty and Dell really, so he's got a much better drive down that. A beautiful Cooperage straight named after an amazing racing driver.
I thought you said it was your dog or your granddad's
Not
dog.
my dog. It's my great granddad's dog, Sheila.
What was it, a little tiny Jack Russell?
Yeah,
I
think it was a rabbit. To be fair. Right, these two are chasing each other.
Yeah, so Bush washed a little bit wide onto Clearways there. It's given Chica a bit of breathing room. So maybe Chica can now look forward at Rashid and Mr. Error. So Mr. Error is in the lead and Rashid's 0.4 behind. So it's tight again, but it looks like Chica might bridge this gap.
Yeah, I'm on board with Rashid at the moment. So Chica's 1.7 behind. So the top 5 haven't pitted yet. So these guys, and this is the problem.
In fact, none of the top 10 have pitted yet. In fact, apart from Joseph, our amateur, who's just ducked into the pits.
Right, okay. This is the problem they're having. Someone needs to be brave and maybe ducking.
You know, the temptation is, you know, you're at this stage of the race, you're leading, like you missed the error, you know, you made good headway in the last race, and you're like, you don't want to pit early because you're going to get yourself into traffic.
Oh, he's got a run on him. He's got a run on him. He's gone defensive. That was nearly contact there. See Rashid. Oh, Mr. Harris had to back out of it because of the line, because he went defensive. So he got a bad run out of that corner.
All the time, this is allowing Chica to catch up. Chica's now right on their tail.
Yeah.
He's going to be inside of the Bentley.
Yeah. There he goes. Rashid made a mistake. He's getting too aggressive. This is what we were saying, and Tugberg's flying around that corner there. That was nearly lost that.
Yeah, so the top 4 line astern.
And Tarek is just behind them. It is difficult to
Tarek
pass.
is also closing. This is what happens when you start to fight. You bring people towards you, and Lock and Load is now in 10th place, up into the top 10. He's going to be rubbing his hands together if these guys keep fighting, because it's all the time it's bringing them back towards him.
How, whilst you're looking at that timing screen, how far off the top 5 is he?
How far off the top 5?
Very rough.
He's significantly off the top 5. You're talking over a minute off the top 5, but he's pitted and they haven't.
That's right. That's right.
So you got to think a little bit of a cheeky flash there, sorry, at Rashid in front of him. I don't know why. It didn't seem like there was anything.
No, you shouldn't really be flashing even. It's not real GT3 etiquette to be flashing a guy to try and put him off. I know we all like to do it occasionally, but you shouldn't unless you're telling them that you're about to lap them or qualifying if they're on a slower lap than you. So,
well, at the moment, Rashid's holding on to the place. Tugberg is right up behind him.
Yeah, he is.
So close, but
he is. I think Tarek is sensing there's going to be some contact somewhere. I bet he's driving for his life at the moment. I bet they all are. And you just got to stay a little bit calm. You know, I've got to say, in the last race that we did, the first 2 laps of that race, the heart rate was going, because it was like, okay, this is a proper race. Let's do this. Oh, and Tugberg, he's got hooked on the grass. He's off. Yeah. I was hoping he didn't collect Tarek, which he didn't. And Scotty Turbo's just come out of the pits, so he nearly got involved in that as well.
And you've got Lock and Load now sitting in 8th place.
Wow,
It's looking very good for him right at this moment in time.
Yeah, and these top 3, they are 100% holding each other up. They're not thinking about the next 18 minutes in terms of a strategy. They're just thinking they're in the middle of a big fight here, and they're potentially on the podium, but really they're not on the podium.
It's costing them.
Exactly. It is costing them big time.
Right, Dow's gone into the pits from 7th place. So it's just your top 6 now. They haven't pitted. Mr. Error, Chica, Rashid, Tarek Tornado, Tugberg and Hutch.
And Keddy's is under a second behind Lock and Load. So wasn't he...
Tugberg just made a really big error coming down, coming to Druids, and he's lost the place to Hutch. Hutch is 5th, and Tugberg is 6th, so I'm not quite sure what happened there because I was on board just after the accident, but Tugberg was off the circuit.
Maybe he had dirty tyres from his excursion at Paddock Hill Bend a little while ago. On the main straight, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Rashid is right on the back of Chica again, and Chica's jumped into the pits.
Did he hit the wall?
Rashid
No, he
goes
didn't.
through to second.
Mr. Error is, yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well, isn't he? I mean, it's, you know, he's doing 26s, so that tells you the pace difference with the other guys that were doing 24s, 23s.
Yeah, so the problem is now though he's.
Oh, Tarek's just. Oh my word, Tarek's just thrown it off. He definitely missed his breaking point there. That was a glory move which didn't work, unfortunately.
So Mr. Error, I was going to say, Mr. Error, the problem is all the top 6 who are still out. In fact, obviously Chica's in the pit, so the 5 others in the top 6 there are not going to be racing or going as quick as they could be on these tyres now. So we're deep into the race, or nearly halfway through the race, and they've not pitted. The guys behind them will be getting an undercut, assuming they've got clear track in front of them.
Yeah, they have. They have, definitely have. They have. And
so Lock and Load is now 5th. Cooper's worked his way up to 5th. The only people in front of him are the 4 not pitted: Mr. Error, Rashid, Tarek Tornado, and Hutch. So this is looking exceedingly good, and Keddy is right behind Lock and Load, 1.2 seconds. So he was
I know.
5 seconds down.
That's what I'm saying.
3 or 4 laps ago.
Yeah, he's right on him now, and Chica is only then 3 seconds off of that as well. So Chica's having a good drive. I was going to say Williams could be a net winner out of this because he pitted early as well, didn't he? But he's probably in a net. Well, it's 4th out of this group anyway. But I'm just watching Keddy chasing down Lock and Load. And again, this is the great thing about it. The top guys will always end up, more or less, will always end up together. It just, I don't know how it works. It just happens. Like, I'm always miles ahead of you.
Yeah. So
you know,
Rashid's the only one that stayed out then. So Rashid is first. Then Mr. Error, Tarek Tornado, and Hutch have all dropped into the pits this lap.
Right, so I'm going to
see where they come out.
Halfway through the race, right? I'm going to. So, Lock and Load is coming through the last bend now. I'm going to go on board of him and see if.
They're all stationary in the pit still, so he's going to be in 2nd place.
Wow. Wowza. And so there goes Keddy in 3rd. There we go then. So we've got a race on, and Rashid's going to pit. So those two are going to be back in 1-2. Mr. Error's come out in 4th. According to the timing, Chica's in 5th.
Yeah, Lely, I don't know. Lely is down in 15th place.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I'd have so expected him to have made moves by now. So he's obviously 0.7 of a second behind Uvalton.
Yeah, I mean they're having a good fight. He's right on him, but he's a long way away. I mean, unless he had damage, unless he had contact, that move's done. So, unless Uvalton.
Clean through.
Ooh, no.
Oh, 2 cuts. That's what I said about that corner. And if you turn in too early, it wants to wash you wide.
Yeah.
He's obviously having a torrid race right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably his problem. I think he's trying too hard. He must be frustrated. He's got to be frustrated if he's there and he can see the other 2 are back on the podium now because he has the pace of them.
Yeah, maybe I jinxed him in the end of the last race saying that himself and Lock and Load have been on the podium on every race so far. I think I need to take some blame there.
Yeah, I blame you.
Yeah, I would.
Let us know in the comments if you blame Timmy. That would be good to know.
Lely will definitely be
he's just put
misjudgment there.
That's
definitely frustration creeping in, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
If nobody else is going to be on the comments saying it's Timmy-Blunder's fault, I'm pretty sure Lely will, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I will.
Yeah, thanks for the support.
That's okay. Lock and Load is in the lead. Keddy is 2nd. Chica, my man Chica, is 3rd. Although Chica, when you watch this, I want to know what RFC means, please. I'd like to know. Well, it's just a stupid thing to say, isn't it? Rugby football.
Maybe
you can't have the 2 words in the same sentence.
Maybe it's like a Spanish rugby football club or something. I don't know.
Who knows? Chica will let us know, I'm sure.
I'm sure he will, yeah.
He will. He'll be dying to let us know. So Friedman is only 2 tenths behind Williams at the moment. Let's go to that battle, and that is 4th position, 7th and 8th. Is Oh, can James defend against Will? I think from what he was saying earlier on, Will is the type of driver that he would probably be quite scared of, really, from what he was saying, in terms of his pace. But he's got track position.
Yeah, that counts a lot in this.
I mean, they're in the same machinery as well, so this is all about determination, yep. Skill, pressure.
I guess it depends on how much James Williams is intent on defending the line. But like I say, as long as you don't make too many mistakes, keep the inside line, it's hard to get by.
Agreed. Let's drop on board.
Yeah, sometimes as a faster driver in these sorts of circuits where they're so fast and flowing, there's no like definitive braking zones, so it's very easy to run into the back of somebody if you don't brake early enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the kind of circuits where you can squeeze the braking zone.
Yeah.
Because most of the corners are too fast for it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the faster guy behind can sometimes be caught out by the slower driver in braking points, etc., etc., especially on these sorts of fast sweeping circuits.
I agree. He's got a run down Cooper Straight. It's a beautiful straight, that is. God, I haven't said it before. Well, I can't help it. The TV producer put it on that shot. Will got a bit of I say oversteer. He lost it a bit there, and James has managed to pull 2/10, a whole 2/10 on him. Oh, what a great run that is! What a great run that is up there. If he does that move, and James just
that's the problem with keeping it tight.
There we go.
It's over the hill when you try and keep a tight line there, because it's dropping away from you. It can make the back end of the car extremely light. The car wants to slide away from you. I think exactly what happened there.
Yeah, what a good for that. I mean, I thought that was, as a move, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. But as you say, and as we've said all throughout this session so far today, you know, when you're making that move, you've got to be brave. You've got to send it, but if you get it right, there's still a chance it's not going to be finished because of how the corners are.
Yeah.
And Joseph T. Rose going for it. Go on, sorry, Timmy.
So I was going to say the close battle ahead is Tarek Tornado behind Rashid, 0.6 of a second.
Oh yeah.
So that is just drifted a little bit wide there onto
Cooper straight.
He seems to have kind of dropped out the zone there. I think he needs to kind of get his head back square and regroup and go again.
You're saying he's got a square head there? It's not Minecraft, you know. And I only know Minecraft viewers because my son plays it. It's not something that I play. So Will and...
Why is that? Are you too old for it, I think?
No, I don't know, but I don't know.
I'm not quite sure I understand the point of it, to be honest.
Well, Minecraft is good for kids because, you know, it allows their imagination in terms of building things, although my 7-year-old much prefers playing GTA 5 and making YouTube videos.
I kind of look at it and go, like, you know, I grew up with a Commodore 64 and I've waited 30 years or more to get, like, some kind of decent graphics. Why would I want to go and play Minecraft? I'm not quite so sure. But
you can buy skin packs for Minecraft to make it all nice and smooth and nice. You can do that.
Like 4K HD ultrasonic or whatever it is.
Yeah, big ball type stuff. But obviously this is ACC, not Minecraft. So, but yes, that battle is still going on between Williams and Friedman, and Tarek has got back onto the back of that. That battle you were watching earlier.
Oh, Tarek had just lost it there, coming out of Graham Hill Bend.
Come on, Tarek.
All sideways, he's kept it together and kept it out of the wall.
I'm just checking in on the front, so we've got nearly 2 seconds between Lockenload and Keddy. Chica looks like he's closing in, to be honest with you, on Keddy. Oh, Keddy's... No, that's not Keddy. My bad. That was Yavoltin who was coming to lap him, and I thought that was going to be an amazing piece of action there, but... No,
so the three guys in line astern at the moment is James Williams, Will Friedman and Joseph, our super amateur.
Yep.
We'll call him from now on. So they're within a second.
Yeah.
And Will Friedman's
making a move again.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got him. James says,
there's a big crash.
there's
who's that in the middle of the track? Was that Lock and Load?
I
No, it can't be. Who's
no.
Lock and Load's teammate?
No, it was somebody else. Rashid, I'm sure it is.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Rashid's getting in the way of everyone. I think he's got damage, and
I think that's given. Isn't
given,
it?
yeah. So, Will's got ahead. Will's got ahead of Will's got ahead of James now. Hasn't changed on the timing yet, but it will. And Rashid's there. That is a shame. That is a shame. But,
so we haven't spoken about him, but Mr. R. Harrison is right up there in 8th place behind Hutch, 0.4 of a second behind Hutch, and putting him under pressure in the McLaren.
Let's have a look.
And Rashid's less than a second behind them. So this one looks like a decent scrap coming through Graham Hill Bend at the moment. Onto saying it.
Keep us straight. Thank you very much. Don't say that word on TV, Steve. It is Channel 4. Can't swear.
I didn't.
You nearly did. And I said your real name then. I do apologise for yours.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. Some person. Yeah.
So anyway, we're running through Hawthorns. I'm on board with Mr. Harrison at the moment. Still less than half a second behind Hutch. And Rashid just dropped back a tab. I think obviously he's now got the damage, so he's going to be struggling. Has he got the pace in the car? Oh, and Hutch goes wide. Yeah,
Hutch is under. Whoa. And that's what he was saying earlier, I think, about the braking zones as well. I'm actually on board, just so we can have a little listen to this McLaren, because it's got a very distinctive sound compared to the other vehicles.
Yeah, you were saying in the last race about it being quite heavily aero dependent. And who's that off to the left? One of the GTRs.
That was King of the Hills, I believe. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I was saying, you saying in the last race about the McLaren being aero dependent, and this is probably the last circuit you want to be following somebody close.
Yeah, Rashid just went for a move in the background there in the rearview mirror and thought he was going to take that off. But yeah, I couldn't think of a worse car for this track than this one.
We seem to have missed it, but we seem to have lost Lock and Load.
Oh yes. Oh, he's gone from the servo. There's only 17 in.
Yeah.
Oh.
See that happen. We were so engrossed in that battle, we didn't see that. So Kenny finds himself in first place, and Chica gets himself promoted back to second, and Mr.
Lucas third.
For a podium.
Yes.
Yeah.
See.
Podium.
This is what I'm saying. Mr. Error.
It's obviously error-free, isn't it?
So it's just Mr. Poo.
That's it.
Well done, Mr. Poo.
Joseph. Amateur is now in fifth. What a great race he's having.
Harrison's binned it. He's put it in the wall, and we got to see that.
That was coming through.
He's got it going again.
That's coming in through Sheen Curve. Which, okay, that's the one. If there's any corner on the circuit that's going to bite you, it's Sheen Curve.
Well, he's got it going again. He's straight back on the pace, so he's only half a second behind Rashid, who's just taken him.
So I'm on board with Joseph at the moment. He's got a bit of damage, wobbly bonnet going on there. So I think he's losing time to Tarek Tornado right at the moment. I mean, if you'd have offered Joseph 5th place at the start of this race, I guess he'd have probably taken it.
I'm pretty sure he would have said thanks very much. Yeah, he's got a bit of damage on the front there, but.
I mean, to be fair to him, he qualified up in 9th place, so it was a good showing in qualifying anyway by Joseph. And I say he's had a nice run in the race. Finds himself 5th.
And that's the thing, though, isn't it? You know, you do all your practice, you do qualifying, you do race 1, you get a short qualifying session before race 2. But realistically, you should, to me, you should be driving the best you've driven for the session. In race 2, really.
I think I need to go back, and we didn't really mention it, but Mr. Harrison up in 8th place in the McLaren has had an absolutely sterling race because he qualified dead last. Yeah.
He did, didn't he? But Will Friedman's on him.
To be fair to him, he didn't set a time.
No.
Either way, coming from
so he has done well. Yeah, he's done very well. Maybe he gets driver of the sesh. Although, maybe. We'll see. Will's making a move.
He's definitely the man who's made the most places during the race. So.
Yeah. There we go. He's going to get a good cut back on him there. Is he going to go defensive? No, he's left the door open. Oh, careful, boys.
What's happened to is Volton, who finds him down in 15th place and qualified 11th, I think. So
yeah,
not sure what's happened with him, but he's had a bit of a
but you got these two are really battling, Harrison and Friedman. I mean, they are side by side down the Cooper's Straight again. I won't say that anymore. I'll just say the straight. Yeah, he's got him. He's got him.
Take a defensive line.
Are you watching Will and Harrison still?
Yeah,
me too.
So I'm on board with Harrison, who's conceded the place to Mr. Friedman. So I don't think he's likely to peg that one. No,
this is the closest battle, so we shall stay.
You'd expect Friedman to qualify from there.
He has, and he's gone wide again. Bit too much there. So now Williams is back on him. So Williams wants that place because I'm sure Williams would love to go and get Mr. Friedman before they had that issue earlier, that little crash.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get him as well. He's going to get him in.
Yeah. So Lely finds himself in 12th place, still significantly out the points, and it doesn't look like he's certainly not got the time to gain that. He's way too far back now.
Yeah, well, it must
we're
be
on to the last lap, aren't we?
Yep. So Keddy's doing his last lap. Well, he's going to come on to his last lap now. So Keddy's driven an excellent race, really, hasn't he? He's just snuck up through nice early pit stop. I bet he's kept it extremely clear. We haven't really looked at him, but we haven't needed to. There's been a lot of action in this race, and he's quietly gone about his business, putting in those lap times. And he's got a comfortable, very comfortable lead at the moment. So well done. Chica in second. I said I had a funny feeling about Chica at the start of this race.
Yeah, I have funny feelings all the time. That doesn't make it.
No, the doctor said I'm special.
Well, we can all tell that, can't we?
I don't know. Depends how many people like and subscribe, then I'll feel special. Or not. Don't make me cry later, peeps. Don't make me cry.
We weren't talking about that kind of special. Oh! Scotty Turbo's lost it and nearly connected Lely there. I was just on board with Lely and Scotty Turbo's lost it. Going through Sheen Curve. Like I say, that corner likes to claim people. And
Will Freeman's just taken Rashid. Rashid's obviously gone a bit wide there, so Will's on the move at the moment. Will's got himself up to 7th.
Race, Cooper. So Kennedy's just coming up through clearways onto the start-finish straight to take the win.
There we go. Well done. We'll go on board. He's doing a little victory zigzag. Well done. Excellent victory for Keddy there. And
finds himself a long way ahead there, several seconds. So Chica looks like he's clear for second.
Yeah, we're on board with Chica now. Let's enjoy that moment with him. I think that's well earned. Well done, Chica.
Yeah, Mr. Error's now through clearways, so he's safely onto the start-finish straight. Will be the last person to the podium.
Yes, Mr. PL. Excellent drive. Well done to you.
If he keeps it clean.
Oh, Joseph could get 5th.
Yeah. So
Tarek in 4th.
Yeah. And Hutch finds himself in 6th.
Well done.
So how else we got coming through? So Friedman in 7th. Looks like he's clean away from Rashid. You've got Williams is right up behind Rashid.
I'm there right now.
They're both clear through clearways then, so that looks like he's going to be an 8th and a 9th. And Harrison looks like he's going to hold on to 10th place.
Yeah.
Which, great result, having started dead last.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Lely, he finds himself outside the top 10 in 11th place.
Yeah, he's. I mean, that might be quite significant later on in the year.
Yeah, that's a
big points loss.
You've also lost. You've got to remember, you've also lost Lock and Load here. So both of those two dropping massive amounts of points in this second race of the evening.
Yeah. Well, there we go then. So Keddy, Chica, and Mr. Error is your podium. Well done, chaps. Good drive. Well done, Tarek. Great job from Joseph there. Hutch, Friedman, Rashid Williams, Harrison, great job. Lely will be disappointed with that, no doubt, but I'm sure he will be back next week. That was a pretty good session, wasn't it, Timmy?
Yeah, I think Rashid really. If I was Rashid, I'd be kicking myself a little bit because he was sitting third in the championship and hasn't made the most of Lely's and Lock and Load's misfortune tonight, but still scored points. So
yeah, you've got to feel sorry for Lock and Load, whatever's happened to him there. He's ended up from 15th, 5 laps. So he must have been bombed out the server, and same with DJ Clark. We haven't even seen him turn a wheel, have we? So you got to feel for those two, but it just makes it more exciting for next week, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what do we have to look forward to next week?
Next week,
Do you know?
yeah, I do know. Next week we are at that very slow, ultra safe place called Monza. So
amazing.
Yeah, we will see you guys then. Thanks to everybody for watching. Any questions, comments, drop them down there. If you want to see me and Timmy race Team RSR, we'll be in Taco Tuesdays. But we look forward to having another session next Sunday, don't we?
Indeed we do. See you all later.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.